Which wearable display should you mount to your face? I'm starting to feel a little like a broken record here. Some kind of portable display, portable monitor, one of the single best accessories you can invest in. Adding more screen to any gadget helps you get more out of that gadget. Phones, tablets, laptops, cameras, game consoles, all of those host devices benefit from getting more screen. Now that can look like a normal portable monitor. It can look like a laptop style dock, or this flavor of wearable display. You can get a pair of glasses that you put on your face to view sort of a large screen TV projected in space out in front of you. And maybe with some limited AR functionality just for fun. This is definitely not like a bulkier VR headset, and you can genuinely pack a big screen experience in something just a little bit larger than a sunglasses case. This is tech that we've been playing with for years now, but the experience is getting a lot better and prices are becoming more reasonable. It's still bleeding edge and none of these would be considered impulse buys, but they're polished up enough that I think more folks can start taking them seriously. We've got 3 main players to look at right now, the newest versions of face displays from XREAL, from Rokid, and from TCL. At this point, I should jump into some disclosures. Both XREAL and Rokid have sponsored videos on my channel to chat about this technology, so the TCL is the loser. I'm absolutely joking. I have a solid working relationship with TCL too. Having worked with all 3 brands, I had to point that out. This video is all on my own. Now, each company would prefer a singular focus on their individual products, and none of the brands in this video have contributed to the production or to the writing or to the script of this comparison. That's enough preamble. Let's get comparing. Okay, starting off with design, all 3 are pretty comfy, and they have flexible arms. They're great for big heads like mine. The XREAL have one nifty trick that the arms can also be vertically adjusted so you can get a better angle looking through the optics. The TCL are definitely the most polished though. Magnetic lenses and a magnetically attached cable with these pogo pins, and the brightness controls on each arm are the most easily accessible. The XREAL have a shield too, but it's not magnetic, it just kind of clamps to the front and it's a little clumsier to use. But the power button and brightness control is almost as good as the TCL. Now, the Rokid are kind of the odd duck out here. There's a single power button that also cycles through a handful of brightness levels in one cycle. So if you miss the brightness you want, you have to go all the way through that list of settings again. And the visor on the Rokid is replaceable, but it's mounted with screws. You can't quickly lighten or darken the view on the go, you kind of have to plan ahead. In terms of wear and comfort, the Rokid feel the lightest on my face and on my nose. All 3 have adjustable nose pads, but the XREAL have swappable nose pads for wider bridges. Depending on lighting and conditions around you, the TCL can go the most minimal. If you're in darker conditions, you can just completely remove the visor, and this is the most straightforward view through these birdbath optics. And wrapping up the hardware, the cable designs are a little nuanced. Now, the TCL uses a magnetic cable, and this is definitely an upgrade over the older TCL headset, which had a built-in cable. That made me really anxious on the older NXTWear. I don't like built-in cables. Now, this pogo pin solution can be a safety feature if you're worried about the glasses getting disconnected from the host device. They won't get pulled off your face, the cable is just gonna pop off. But that also means this is a proprietary cable and won't be easy to replace if it's lost or damaged. The Rokid and the XREAL both use USB-C ports over your ear, and each can work with third-party cables. The cable support is a little finicky because not all USB-C cables are created equal. All of the cables that work with my portable displays and my Thunderbolt cables can put a video signal out to these glasses. If you have like a larger charging USB-C cable, it's probably not going to send video. But we're talking about wearable displays, and the most important part of a screen on your face are the optics. This is a personal kind of critique. What fits my skull better might not fit your skull and your eyes the same way. Very generally, I find the XREAL and the TCL are closer to filling the same field of view, while the Rokid have a slightly narrower field of view. They're all 3 reasonably close in terms of maximum brightness, but I like the brightness controls better on the TCL, and then second place, the NREAL. For my face, the NREAL delivered the sharpest image with less fringing and with the least amount of fussing and adjusting to get them to fit. That's incredibly difficult to predict if that holds true for other faces. I think it's very likely that a pair of TCLs might wear better on someone else's head, which brings up a critical feature on the Rokid. If you're nearsighted, the Rokid have diopters per eye that can be adjusted to focus and improve clarity, which is actually a little annoying for me as I'm ever so slightly a touch farsighted. And I feel I regularly have to fiddle with these dials to get the image and focus that I want. And when everything is dialed in and adjusted on your face, I'm happy with the image quality on all three. But for my personal biology, I get the fastest results with the NREAL. And we should absolutely not overlook audio. All three have speakers built into the arms of the glasses. TCL handily takes the win for both volume and clarity. It's the fullest presentation. For these little open ear speakers that kind of sit above your ears, we get reasonably good low frequency performance. Now, the NREAL are pretty close. I'd say they're just a slightly thinner sound and ever so slightly quieter playback. But the Rokid are definitely our third place and a bit more of a distant third place, noticeably quieter and a lot tinnier. It's a thinner sound that is not as nice and leaves me wanting, I mostly just reach for some other earbuds and connect a different audio source instead. And lastly, just talking about some of the fun features, the idea of fun features here, these are fun accessories for other gadgets. That's the main purpose. That's the main use that I think these things really, that they really hit hard. Plugging any of these into my Steam Deck to play games on an airplane where I can sit as comfortably as I want and see a large screen projection of my game, that's a huge perk when traveling. But they each have their own flavor of some other additional use, especially when plugged into a smartphone. You can have some smartphone apps that convey extra functionality, and each of these headsets have gyroscopes built in for very rudimentary, really basic head tracking. Simple AR interfaces where you can do some simple web browsing and the glasses will generally remember the position of your windows in space. It's not like full-featured AR where it can literally track objects in your environment. You can pop something to a wall and it's going to stay there forever. It's just generally remembering some basic dimensions in space. There's not a ton of practical use there, but it is fun to play around with. And I really hope that this is just a first step. It's a baby step towards better integration with the video output modes and other apps on Android devices. It would be so cool in the future if the glasses could support their own flavor of a desktop mode and interact with all of the apps that are installed on your phone instead of only using Dex or Moto Ready 4 or the Honor Magic desktop UI. These glasses could bring that kind of functionality to any phone or any tablet with its own video output mode. I wouldn't really declare any one of these glasses better than the other for that kind of AR functionality. Like I said, it's all really simple, it's really early, not a ton of functionality, but it's a fun parlor trick to show off when you put these glasses on someone else's face. All right, wrapping this all up, getting to the end of this video, it's why I'm always so reluctant to declare outright winners and losers in my videos. This is a product segment that will only get better with healthy competition. I want to see more tech like this in consumers' hands. And it's too early to shut down one company over some perceived minor weakness. Like I said, this is still bleeding edge tech and we want to see it mature, but the initial impressions and the initial use of these three right now lead me to think this has got some legs, that people will actually appreciate what these things can do now. It really wasn't that long ago where some kind of simple headset display was in a much bulkier enclosure, was much more difficult to use, required a supremely more powerful PC to drive, and was substantially more expensive. Across the board, I would point to the TCL for the best combination of both video and audio, and it's definitely the most polished hardware experience. The NREAL visor is clumsy. Like, I couldn't even get it back on while I was shooting the video. I need to stop in focus to pop that back on. And the speakers are a small step behind, but I was able to get a sharper image faster than on the TCL or on the Rokid. I think in part, thanks to those vertical arm adjustments, I can kind of get right into the optics a little bit quicker. The TCL cable is cooler, it's a techier design, but I worry about replacements down the line. I really like it when products like displays are built on open standards. You can use sort of the same equipment across multiple devices. And that way, I think I like the USB-C plugs on the Rokid and the XREAL better. Out of all three of these, the Rokid just aren't built for me, but I think it's easy to see where someone else would benefit from these diopters. It's important to have a solution that is a better fit for someone that has different visual concerns than what I might have. For my own personal use, I lean towards the XREAL, what I'll really pick up to use with my Steam Deck or with my phones. But this is also one of those times where we really need to be specific about each product's pros and cons. The next stage of consumer tech is a really difficult step to take, making accessories more personal to our eyes and our ears and our sense of touch, and finding solutions for everyone's unique biology. I'm really happy with all three of these. I think there's a good option in here for most consumers who might be interested in this kind of display. And I'm really excited about where these glasses might go in the future. So I will, of course, leave links down below for all three, because I think you should give them each a fair shot if you're interested in putting a display on your face to project your own personal, private, big screen TV watching experience. Down in the description under this video. As always, thanks so much for watching, sharing, subscribing. All the support lately has been amazing. Those of you who have been sharing the videos on this channel, if you're checking out my home site, SomeGadgetGuy.com, shopping a little merch, or if you're joining the list of names scrolling by on your screen from my Patreon, patreon.com/SomeGadgetGuy. This list is basically the coolest collection of tech pals in the universe. So I hope you'll check them out. Now, you know where you can find me around the rest of the internet, at SomeGadgetGuy on the Twitters and the Twitch, not so much on the Facebooks or the Instagrams, and I'm now on the Mastodon, so you can check me out there too, and I will catch you all on the next video.